Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been just about any place else in the world. And the good news is, it is not too late to run. Run, Forrest, run. But if you're going to stick around, and I hope you do, then we can just chill for a minute while I get the slides up. By the way, Kathy G, thank you so much for being here first. And Sharon Middleton, thank you for the new membership. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much for becoming a new member. And remember, memberships with Royal Sussex is still a bargain at just $4.99 US. $4.99. For that price, you can help support this channel. And remember, it's only about the price of a cup of coffee. Just think, if you give up one cup of coffee per month, that will go a long way to support this channel. So think about it. Think about it. $4.99 to help support this channel. I think it's a bargain. I think it's a bargain. There we go. All right, let's see here. I'll take that away. And oh, holy moly, you know what I forgot to do? Well, never mind. It's too late now. Well, it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. How did it go? And we really did try to make it. Something, something, something. That's Carole King, right? Well, it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. And I never knew the words anyway. Church Nellie, as I live and breathe, thank you so much for being here. Well, I'm getting older as I live and wheeze. I don't just breathe, I wheeze. Let me see. What am I looking for as I stall? I'm stalling because I can't remember what I was looking for. Oh, well, it couldn't have been too important. Yeah, I'm just going to assume I didn't need it. Whatever it was. Okay. Mackenzie is here. Lydia Washington. Fancy. Okay, so how many people actually watched? I stayed up way too late watching. I was already up too late. And then one of the squatties was so nice to send me a message in my inbox to tell me that it was here. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it. Thank you. And so I did. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The rapport, the connection between host and guest was phenomenal. Um, they spoke to each other very fast. I mean, the energy, and I do mean that in a good way. The energy between the two of them was incredible. I just could not believe how connected they were. Um, and I tell you, I've seen Meghan interviewed by other people, and I thought, oh, wow, that went very well. And but I just feel like they have so much in common, even though they're so different. They're so different. There are some things that Meghan is crazy about, and there's some things that Emma's just like, oh, I don't do that. But still, I think they matched each other's energy word for word, and I don't know. I felt a connection. I don't even know how to put it into words. I don't know what it was, but I know it was there. Um, let's see. This was Levels Above, a great podcast. Yes, yes. And I'm thinking, okay, I, the energy was so different, I guess, from the last podcast, if you know what I mean. The last podcast was in a very hushed tone, and this one, it was the polar opposite. And listen, I love the other lady, the one who, what did she create? Was it oh, the makeup. I thought she was wonderful. Um but the energy was so different. And I was like, I felt like I was at a tennis match. I'm looking right, I'm looking left, I'm looking right, I'm looking left. Um it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. So, of course, let me see. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So, Meghan Sussex sat down with Emma on Aspire podcast and gave the kind of interview that royal reporters wish they could twist, but they can't, because this time Meghan spoke directly to her audience on her terms, with her timing and I'm sorry, and without the filter of a hostile press, from sharing how her kids run their own garden stand to discussing her new lifestyle brand. She offered a vision of influence grounded in value. You could say that again. So, I know what I want to do. I want to make this right. This is what I want to do. So, oh fudge, I don't want that. Let me grab this. I want to do this the right way. So that would entail me doing this. And this. I knew it was something else I needed to do. I knew it. But that's okay. These little dexterous hands of mine will work this out in the shake of a tail feather. Okay. Uh, uh, and that. Now, let me do this again. Will that work or no? Okay, I need to get rid of this. Mary H., thank you for being here. And yes, that did work. By the way, you guys, Connie Balmer, let me do this before I miss it. Connie Balmer wrote a message to everyone. And just in case you didn't go back to look at her card that I left on the post, it says, "Oh, thank you, family. I started to feel better because of you. I had bad flu and fever, joint pains, but am slowly recovering. It feels nice to know family cares." Absolutely. And yes, I'm so glad that Connie Balmer is feeling so much better. I don't know Connie Balmer personally, but I just have this feeling that Connie Balmer takes care of everyone around her, everyone in her orbit. And well, I'm just glad she's feeling better. So um, onward and upward. So you'll be 100% before you know it. It'll be like it never happened. Okay, and there. That's what I was looking for. I neglected to make this slide, but I put one together very fast. We know Femme Negra, and I just want to make sure that they get the credit they deserve. Yes, the British press will presumably be spiraling, but that's a conversation for another day. What matters here is that Meghan no longer needs them to speak for her. She has her own brand, her own platform, and her own power, and it shows. Meghan Sussex turns Jam into a global brand without losing control. Meghan has long displayed an entrepreneurial streak. As she recalls on the Aspire podcast, her early exposure to business came through family helping her maternal grandfather at his antique store and selling handmade scrunchies at school. That do it yourself spirit would later evolve into something much bigger. And if you all recall, she said she sold those scrunchies for $1. She bought fabric of her own. Um, Nobody's talked about this, but um, if you would have blinked, you almost would have missed it. But was it just me, or did I hear that Mama Doria can sew? That Mama Doria knows how to sew? Did I miss that? Or was I really listening and I heard Megan say that her mom would purchase fabric and make dresses out of it that she was able to sell? Um, I think I heard that right. So I was like, wow, I didn't know Doria had that talent too. Apparently, Doria has a lot of talents that we know nothing about. And it's interesting because every time there's a interview with the Duchess of Sussex, we always learn something new, which just goes to show that both mother and daughter have worked extremely hard in their lifetimes and continue to work hard, not satisfied to restrict themselves to just one career or one job. They seem to have a very adventurous spirit, and they don't mind going on to the next thing. And that is good, especially with the economy the way it is today. It's not like the old days where you go to work in that factory and you stay for 50 years. Nowadays, it's good to be able to switch it up. You never know when you may have to call upon that. So I was very impressed by that. Almost would have missed it. Almost could have missed that one, but I'm just like, wait a minute, did she just say, yep, that's what she said? So I'm so glad to hear that. All right. To continue, it says, despite working with media, oh, wait a minute, did I miss a part of this? Wait. Okay. Her latest venture, as ever, didn't begin with a boardroom pitch or a celebrity endorsement deal. It began in her kitchen. What started as small batch preserves, that is, shared with friends, eventually caught the attention of Netflix, leading to high profile partnership that ties the brand to her With Love Megan series. The scale may have shifted, but the mission hasn't. You know what I love? I love this because do you remember how the derangers they love to say that their contract with Netflix is almost up, especially what's his name? The one that looks like a rat with glasses on. Not um, Richard Eden, the other one with that kind of, oh my goodness. Does he write for not the Daily Beast? Who does he? Oh, Newsweek. I think he writes for Newsweek. Yes, that royal rodent. Um, he was the main one who loved to say, what are they going to do when their contract is up? And Netflix is going to expect this, and Netflix wants that. And they were doing this big countdown to the end of their contract, right? And it seems to me that they are just like in a new phase of their partnership, their working relationship with Netflix. So the show is a big hit. And as they say, whether you hate them or not, you're still watching. So um, I'm so glad for that because they were just having too much fun. They were enjoying this idea of them somehow circling the drain. Well, anyway, nothing could be further from the truth. So, um, anyway, let me get on to this. Let me see. It says, despite working with a media giant, Meghan retains full creative control, which is something very important. She remains involved in every aspect of the brand, from developing products to reviewing packaging and handling customer experience. She compares the brand philosophy to hospitality, making each consumer feel like a welcome guest. Her approach is personal, deliberate, and deeply tied to her values. Hey, Vinny Blair, thank you so much for being here. And take a look there. This, let me see. Yeah, that was today. Or was that yesterday? Today. Today. As ever. Nope, yesterday. Was it? Anyway, as ever, how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Hey, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Okay, we love hearing all of your excitement for this week's seasonal drop. 3 more sleeps, just 3 more sleeps. And of course, we'll have those products. And take a look there. 3 more sleeps. There it is. You can see Meghan on the bridge. I believe that leads to some area of the garden. I forget which one. Here's another one. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Can you all see that? Because I can't. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. We love hearing your excitement. 3 more sleeps. And there, you can get a better view of Meghan walking across that bridge. I should have zoomed into that one a little closer, but that's okay. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm going to zoom in nice and close so we can see what she's wearing, what she's carrying, what she's doing. But that is beautiful. What a beautiful garden. That is a beautiful garden. And oh, you know what? I didn't even know that Mama Mia, there's Mama Mia on the right side. You see her? Look at how watchful Mama Mia is, making sure that Meghan is safely walking across the bridge, making sure she's right there behind her. That is so sweet. Love it. Even with the spotlight and resources of Netflix, Meghan describes as ever as her startup. She insists that no detail is too small. Delivery, speed, product quality, and customer care are non-negotiable priorities. She also made clear she's not driven by speed or scale, but by intention. Someone else's urgency is not my urgency, she said in the interview. And that is so important, you guys. Um, it is so much better to get it right. One of the reasons why Japan managed to kick butt back in the 70s when it came to making automobiles, they had a manufacturing philosophy where they literally stopped the assembly line. Every person in the factory had a right to put the brakes on if the quality was not up to par. Whereas the American philosophy was, oh, just get it out there. They can fix it at the dealership, right? American cars, they would fix them at the dealership. Something wasn't right, the dealer would fix it. But then eventually, the American companies, well, they had to adopt that type of quality, not to rush. Rushing and meeting quotas wasn't as important as quality products. It just makes so much sense because if you don't, well, look at how many car companies are out of business now. So I'm just saying. Okay. Go to the next one here. Oh, that's the same thing, isn't it? Yep, that's the same thing. Now, yesterday I mentioned that I did not get my email. The timestamp on my email is 10 p.m. last night. I didn't get my email until 10 p.m. That's what the timestamp says. 10 p.m. I don't know why I got my email so late. I did finally get it, but it was at 10 p.m. So this is my own upload of the photo, not the one that I borrowed from everyone else. I don't know why it took so long, but the good thing is I have it now. But let me see that one more time. Yep, it says Monday, June 16, 10:01 p.m. I got it 23 hours ago. Can you believe that? Everybody else had theirs except for me. And I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. I looked and I looked and I looked, and it wasn't there. Huh, interesting. Oh, well, I hope they don't all take that long. But thanks everybody who was trying to help me find it. But yeah, I did finally find it this morning. I found it. Um, so first off, a sincere thank you for making the debut of As Ever Absolutely Extraordinary. We had a feeling there would be excitement, but to see everything sell out in less than an hour was an amazing surprise. We are pleased to share that on June 20th, we're going live with the products you love, plus some new delicious surprises. More details and exact timing will be shared soon. Okay. Lydia says, Meghan must know you're a night owl, Baron, and told them to send Royal Sussex email later. You know, um, I wasn't sure they were watching Royal Sussex, but now I am certain. And by the way, thank you for 46 months membership. 46 months. That is amazing. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, they know me. What could I say? They know me. Okay. Now, like I said, I loved the interview. Everything about it, everything. They just, like I said, they matched each other's energy like no other interview I've seen with Megan. Um, the article says here, it is perfectly okay for me as a founder and owner of this company to say sorry. What does that mean? I know what I know, but I also so excited to have people in on this team that know more about certain avenues than I do. And I love that Megan said that. That is okay. It is okay to ask questions. It is okay to not know everything. And that, of course, was Megan emphasizing the importance of staying curious and surrounding yourself with a strong team. Staying curious and reminding yourself with a strong team. There's no imposter syndrome here. That was one of my favorites when Megan said that she doesn't suffer from imposter syndrome. Okay. So, decision by committee. Oh, I love that. Decision by committee. I have been doing that all my life and did not realize that that's exactly what I was doing. I was using a committee to come up with certain decisions that I needed to make, not realizing how bad that is because when you do that, you really sabotage yourself. You are sabotaging yourself if you're using a committee. Megan said just a couple of close friends that you can bounce some things off of. But to go from person to person could be a huge mistake. So, decision by committee refers to the process where a group of individuals, each with their own perspectives, collaborate to reach a collective decision. This approach is often used in organizations to leverage diverse expertise and ensure that decisions are well informed and considered from various angles. However, it can also lead to challenges like slower decision making, potential for compromise that satisfies no one, and the risk of design by committee, where the final outcome is disjointed and lacks a clear vision. Now, that is the more traditional decision by committee. But what Megan was saying was that she was going to different people, that she was in this had this habit of going to different people, people close to her, people she considered friends. And even though you may love those people, you're getting too much feedback. It's feedback overload. Decision by committee, the guaranteed way to make zero decisions. You're really deferring your responsibilities to someone else when you do that. Ultimately, you're responsible, but you're kind of, you know, um, losing control. You're losing control, and it's like you're giving responsibility to someone else. Although, if there is a price to be paid for getting it wrong, it's not going to be them that pay the price. You are. So, you got to find ways to play your cards very close to your vest, right? And there's all kind of people on the internet saying, keep your business to yourself. Don't tell everybody your business. Now that's going a whole nother direction, and I don't want to do that. But I think that also applies here because I, like a friend that I haven't spoken to for a very long time, that is a saboteur. That is a saboteur. Now, understand, I know she's a saboteur, but I love her just the same. I haven't talked to her in a while, and it had nothing to do with anything like that. But I know sometimes if I bounce an idea off of her, the response is going to be very negative. It is going to be very discouraging. And so, best not to, you know, use that as a sounding board. That person, you got to ignore those people. Um, but yeah, I love that part of it. I love that part of it. Decision by committee. So there's um, a broader definition of that, which is what you see there on the left side. And then there's something smaller, which means that it could be your closest friends or family member. But yeah, that was it was a great conversation, just absolutely great. Um, but let's get to the imposter syndrome. There's no imposter syndrome here. Megan says she feels right at home as a founder and is quick to credit her team, tight knit, trusted, and experienced for helping build something that reflects both her vision and her standards, with plans to expand beyond jams into lifestyle goods as ever isn't just a celebrity side project. It's a long-term play grounded in consistency, clarity, and control. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Let me see here. What do I have next? Yeah, so that's the imposter syndrome. Now, you know, I listen to a lot of interviews, or I'll watch a lot of interviews on the Netflix. And because I'm such a big fan of Dynasty, or as they say in the UK, Dynasty, I watched some interviews with Linda Evans. Linda Evans. And Linda Evans, if you don't know the stories, let me tell you how it goes. I'll keep it very short. Linda Evans was asked by one of her girlfriends when they were in high school. She said, I have an audition. Can you please come with me? I'm so nervous. And she said, yeah. And so her girlfriend went in for the interview and she did not get the job. But they noticed Linda Evans, who I believe was a brunette at the time, sitting in the waiting room. And they said, why don't you audition? She didn't want to, but she did anyway. And she had already did some theater in high school to try to get over her crippling shyness. And guess what? She got a part. She got a part. But she made them promise that her girlfriend would also get the opportunity in something else. And they kept their promise, which means that her friendship was intact, right? She did not lose her friendship with this girl. Not that that by itself would have been the reason, but it's a good thing that they helped the other girl get apart. Um, they didn't have to do that. And so, time after time, place after place, Linda Evans found herself booking these jobs. And she said she always felt uncomfortable because she kept thinking, when will they realize that I'm not an actress? That this is not who I am, that I'm shy, that I'm this, that I'm that, and so on and so forth. And she was like the accidental actress. And yet she became an example to women approaching 40 or over 40 for millions of people around the world. Who could have known that later in life that little Linda Evans would become a blonde, would become the older sexy woman and inspire so many people? She didn't know that. All she knew is, oh, what am I doing here? When are they going to find out I'm not supposed to be here? It was a great interview. And it wasn't like a big monumental interview, but that just kind of stuck out in my head because I'm just like, wow, for someone who wasn't sure of herself, she sure has had an amazing ride. But yeah, so I thought about that when Megan was discussing the idea of imposter syndrome. But Megan's like, nah, that's not who I am. And I think also someone who works very hard and someone who's genuinely interested in a particular career, if you've been there to put in that hard work, um, it's actually too bad if you feel like an imposter, because I look at it like this: God knows you've done the work. Now, if you were married into the royal family and you never really worked in your life, you had no other ambitions like, women's rights or bringing clean water to people that live in a very rural community, or providing what female hygiene products to women who have live in poverty, or that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have any ambitions like that, if your biggest ambition was to work on a yacht or to go out late nights with a billionaire to get some business advice, then of course you would probably feel like a fraud. You would feel like you did not belong. You would feel like someone who is very untalented, who can barely speak the Queen's English at the time, and really could have been replaced by a million other people who could actually do the work. So, what happens? It affects your weight, possibly. It affects your body language. You're wringing your hands. You keep wearing bandages all over your fingers. It could have so many different telltale signs of imposter syndrome. Now, I don't want to say who that person is, but all I know is it took them 10 years to make it over the finish line. 10 years. And now, 13, 14 years later, they're still struggling. Why? Imposter syndrome. Well, Megan doesn't suffer from that. Megan works very hard, and what she doesn't know, she'll ask somebody. See how easy that works. Now, imposter syndrome, also known as the imposter phenomenon, is a psychological pattern where individuals experience persistent self doubt and the inability to believe their successes are deserved, despite evidence of their competence and accomplishments. They may feel like frauds and fear being found out. That's what Linda Evans said. She was afraid that she would be found out. Imposter syndrome, also known as imposter phenomenon or imposterism, is a psychological experience in which a person suffers from feeling of intellectual or professional fraudulence. One source defines it as the subjective experience of perceived self doubt in one's abilities and accomplishments compared with others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary. And by the way, RA, thank you so much for the Cash App. Yes, thank you so much for the Cash App. Uh, I did see that. I almost missed it, but I'm glad I caught it. Thank you so much for that. And thank you as always for supporting Royal Sussex. My faith is greater than my fear. I love when Megan says that. My faith is greater than my fear. By the way, quick question. The background for this slide, does anybody remember where that pattern comes from? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Boom, boom. Anybody remember where that pattern comes from? Anybody? I know you do. Y'all saw it before. Yes, Olivia Johnson. Her skirt that she wore to Columbia. Yep, that's it. There are no prizes. But yes, that's the skirt that was worn in Columbia. Okay. Um I would ask people to tell the truth. Yes, I would ask people to tell the truth. Let me see if I have the sound for that. We talked about it yesterday, but I liked it so much. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Do it again. Oh, oh, okay. Like a hammer on the block, love began to rock. Okay.
And listen,
Oh, there it is.
in the best way, because I wonder if you could rewrite your public narrative from scratch. Is there anything that you would do differently? Yes, I would ask people to tell the truth.
Now, there are some people who believe that that may have been a veiled swipe at an institution. Who knows? I think in all likelihood it was, but not just an institution, but also to um, a bunch of dreadful, cruel, mean spirited people who have profited a great deal from someone else's life. And that, of course, would be the royal rodents. Quite often, they don't tell the truth. As a matter of fact, most of what they say can be very misleading. They they pretend um, that they what is that they say? They feign ignorance. They love to play dumb, for lack of a better word, instead of just saying like, well, that probably happened because of this. Very rarely do they say that. They will know why certain things are certain ways. Like the one that really grates on my nerve is the way they are so confused and uncomfortable with Meghan's pursuit or the Sussexes' pursuit of their children's privacy. But the way that the royal rota goes after children in that family. Now, they made a promise to leave the boys alone, a promise that was mostly kept for William, but was totally ignored for Harry. And we all know why. So I'm pretty sure Meghan did not know that part of the story um, before, she and Meghan, she and Harry had a chance to talk about raising a family. I don't know when that was introduced, but at a certain point, I'm sure Harry had to say, hey, They promised to leave us alone. Well, they left William alone. They didn't leave me alone. And who knows? Maybe around the time they were discussing these things, someone used an image of a chimpanzee to describe your child. And of course, we've heard some very cruel things from the derangers. If someone went on and on with negative, awful, terrifying comments about a child that is unborn, a child that is an infant, a toddler. Like, how about when there was this thing about, what was it, Lilybit Diana? So Lilybit takes a picture sitting in the grass. I don't even want to repeat. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm not going to tell you what some people said about that picture. Cruel, awful things. Stuff that kind of makes you feel sick on the stomach. And so if someone decides I'm over here in another country or I'm traveling back and forth to that country, I just don't want to share my children with the media that helps fuel the hatred and hostility from those deranged people in social media. I'm just not going to do it. So there's a lot of reasons why the relationship with the tabloid media is bad. You can just pick and choose. It's low hanging fruit. You can just pick and choose. But first and foremost, they don't tell the truth. They just won't do it. Melinda Farmer says, if the shoe fits, wear it, I say. Here, here. Thank you so much for the super chat. They lie. Joan Garcia says, Baron, did you hear Loose Women canceled more shows? Yes, I'm going to get to that. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yep, I am going to get to that. Now, Meghan mentioned Melanie Hobson, which was very, very sweet. The way she celebrated the women that she loved to meet. But the only thing is, she could not say most of them by name because of what? The media. They would have used her words and twisted it, and they would say that she favored this one over that one. And it's unfortunate that we have to be somewhat guarded in our responses, but it's necessary because otherwise they really could not find much in this interview. And I mean to tell you, the interview's been out for what, almost 24 hours. They could not find much to criticize, much to my surprise. They just did not have much. And you know what? The more that Meghan has these sit downs, the less they will have to try to put their hooks into. They'll find something, of course. But I am really surprised. It just seemed to be very little that came out of this that was some big scandal. So, um, and if I'm correct, I believe the only person she mentioned was Melanie Hobson and no one else. But I could just imagine. And also, that was a very sweet story that Emma told about me meeting Oprah Winfrey. How Oprah comes and takes her hand, and her hand is sweating, and she don't remember what she said. And oh my God, that was adorable. I love that. I love that story. Um, and I've heard that before. What's her name? The Black Mother of Hollywood. Um, oh, I'm always making fun of her. Jennifer Lewis. There we go. Jennifer Lewis. It took me a minute. Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis said she met Tina Turner's mother. Have you guys heard this story? And she was like, "Oh, ooh." She was in the shop and she just ran into Tina Turner's mother. And she was kind of nervous because she played Tina Turner's mother in What's Love Got to Do with It. And she said that when she went over to meet her, Tina Turner's mother was like, "Oh, oh, I didn't want to meet you like this. Oh, I wanted to make sure that I got my hair done and I didn't want to meet you like this." Her mother was so humble and so sweet and so thoughtful. And she was more worried about how Jennifer Lewis perceived her than vice versa. I was like, that is an amazing story. Jennifer Lewis is nervous because of her portrayal of Tina Turner's mother. And Tina's mother is like, I wanted to make sure that I was where I had my nice dress on when I met you. So that was a very sweet story. Okay. Um, Mason Burks. Those earrings, I think they call them, oh, you know what? I have it here. Inspired by the icy beauty of Canadian winters, these 2.15 carat diamond earrings are crafted in 18 karat white gold. Now, I didn't even notice. But apparently, one of the tabloids noticed how many times Meghan has wore those earrings in very key moments ever since she first received them. And I don't know that they said where they came from, but anyway, yeah, Meghan has worn them a lot. And again, if this is the worst thing they have to say about the interview, I'll take it. The only thing that I've heard so far is that they thought it was some veiled swipe at the royal family in the interview. And I'm just like, if that's all they got to say, then that's not bad. If there's something else, I didn't hear of it. But um, not that their opinion is a measure of success for the interview, because it's a great interview because we say so. Who cares about the tabloid media? But it was a great interview. And I'm going to say it was one of Meghan's best, if not the best, interviews that she's ever had, where she was actually the guest. Yeah, I'm going to say it was like one of the best. Ain't that the way it go? Can't nobody hurt you like your family. Ain't that the way it go? Can't nobody hurt you like your family. My friend Maxine told me that years ago, and it was true then, and it's true now. Can't nobody hurt you like your family. Oh well. Let me see. Archie and Lilibet learned lesson. The palace never taught. Let me see. Meghan Sussex spoke candidly about uh, uh, did I do that one already? Maybe not. Meghan Sussex spoke candidly about imposter syndrome during her Aspire interview, saying she doesn't carry it, and for good reason, adding that imposter syndrome sends the wrong message to those around you, especially children. It creates limits where there should be possibilities. You guys make a note of that. Imposter syndrome creates limits where there should be possibilities. Having spent years navigating rejection in the acting world, Meghan learned early on not to internalize doubt as truth. Do not allow your feelings of doubt to become your truth. That mindset now shapes how she approaches both business and motherhood. Meghan Sussex also offered rare glimpses into how she's raising her children in California, grounded, engaged, and connected to the world around them. She revealed that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet operate their own small farmers market selling produce they've grown in the family garden. The anecdote, delivered with warmth, underscored her broader approach to parenting, teaching her children the value of effort, responsibility, and self reliance. I love this. That mindset aligns with Megan's views on leadership and self perception. Reflecting on her years in acting, she explained why she doesn't believe in imposter syndrome, particularly as a mother. I don't want to model that for my kids, she said, noting that self doubt can quietly shape a child's understanding of their own potential. Instead, she chooses, that is, to lead by example, by embracing confidence, remaining curious, and encouraging her children to take pride in what they build from the ground up. Megan Sussex on fear, failure, and finding her place says here, when asked about imposter syndrome, Megan Sussex didn't hesitate. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, she said, with a calm assurance and resilience. Any notion of doubt. Um, she wasn't posturing, she was being honest about what she knows, what she's still learning, and the power of saying, sorry, what does that mean as a founder? Sorry, what does that mean? But it was her perspective on failure that revealed the depth, that is, of her mindset. In an industry where success is often filtered and failure is hidden, Megan chose clarity over pretense. My faith is greater than my fear. It wasn't a I'm sorry. It wasn't a catchphrase. It was a thesis statement. She understands the stakes, she knows the numbers, and she's moving forward anyway. Not because she's certain of the outcome, but because she believes in the work. That belief, rooted in value and built through experience, has become a foundation of everything she's creating. What made the Aspire episode stand out was the effortless rhythm between Megan and Emma. That's exactly what I was talking about. The effortless rhythm between Megan and Emma. The two founders who've built more than a brands, that is, their conversation moved with intention, grounded in lived experience and mutual respect. There was no script, no performance, just two women fluent in realities of starting from scratch and scaling with purpose. End of article. Isn't that a great article? You guys, make sure you go to Feminagra. Share that article with someone. Share it with someone. It's just that good. This is it right here. Let me grab the link and I will put it up top. You know what? I haven't put anything up top much these days, but I'm going to do that right now. I've been neglecting to do that. I'm going to put that up top. So if you want to share this article with someone, do it, do it, do it. There it is at the top of the chat. Feminagra. That's the article with Meghan Sussex, where she talks about, um, you know, and also the link for the video. You all know I put that in the community post, right? So if you have not seen the interview, go to the community post. It is there. You can just click on it and watch it on YouTube. But yes, there was great energy between the two of them. So let me see. We covered all of that. I did go back a bit, didn't I? Let me see. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay. Let me do that. Remember, Mason Burks. Ah, there we go. If you're wondering what Meghan was wearing, she wore the Burks earrings and a Ralph Lauren suit. Yep. It was, oh, it's 3 pieces. And is that Genora or Genora? Genora, 1735? Yeah, well, anyway, that's the tea set. So if you're interested in that tea set, now you know. Wow, what a great interview. I am going to watch it again. I am going to watch it again. That one, I can definitely watch it again and again. Got so much out of that. So much out of it. The energy was just perfect. They matched each other's energy word for word, time and time again. Just wanted to share this with you. As I'm always saying, try to fill your life with art. Find some nice pictures, something that's very dreamy, surreal, or something more, I don't know, realistic, nice photos. Go on Etsy or whatever and order some prints to put on the wall. Go to the thrift store. You can find some amazing artwork at the thrift store for very low prices if you go to the right store. But yeah, put some art in your house. You'll feel so much better. Something you don't mind looking at again and again. And it doesn't have to be um, something for everyone, it's got to be something for you. You define the space that you live in, not other people. Don't worry about other people's opinion. If you like it, you love it, then it's art. Good art. Doesn't matter how much it costs. You don't have to spend a king's ransom. But find something nice, something familiar, something new, unexpected, something that inspires. Like if you wanted to go to Paris, find a nice abstract image of Paris. Put that up on the wall. Remind you to go. Wow, I got to go to Paris one day. See there, it's right on the wall. Oh, very. You know what? Let me do something first because I don't think I was through with Meghan yet. Don't think I was through, and then we'll get on to those other subjects. Let me see because I had some sound that I wanted to play, and no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get in trouble. I better leave it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it because I just think it's a good idea. All right, so Zara the tongue ring Tyndall. Let's get back to her. Zara the tongue ring Tyndall. Where is Zara the tongue ring Tyndall? See there? Very tactile Tyndalls. Very tactile Tyndalls. Zara and Mike shrug off the stuffy formality as they warmly greet royal relatives, including King, with pecks on the cheek at Ascot. Did Mike peck him on the cheek too? Anyway, I didn't see that part. But they act like this is such a big deal. And why is it such a big deal? Because of Harry and Meghan. The whole royal family wants to prove that we're warm, loving people too. Now, to be fair, I don't doubt that Zara and Mike Tyndall are genuinely very affectionate people. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that Zara was quick to embrace the officer that pulled her over on the highway when she went careening through the countryside at 91 miles per hour. Yeah, Zara Tyndall banned from driving after speeding at 91 miles per hour. I'm sure she was able to go home and hug everybody then after she got in trouble. I don't know if they had to bail out or not, but she has been banned from driving for 6 months. This was during the global pandemic. The Queen's granddaughter, Zara, by the way, I'm just being shady. I didn't have to share this story again. I didn't have to share this story again. I chose to share this story again. Anyway, I'm sure Zara took a big leap out of her Range Rover or whatever it was and ran over to the cop and gave him a big hug and still got a ticket for going 91 miles per hour um, on the Queens Road. Oh, she had a Land Rover. It says she was caught speeding at 91 miles per hour in her Land Rover. The 38-year-old, she was 38 at the time, equestrian star, who is the daughter of Princess Anne, received the ban. Yeah. So, yeah, well, and of course, more unnecessary, but fun. There's Mike Tyndall being affectionate with Prince William, alarmingly affectionate, and William more than alarmingly affectionate with Mike Tyndall. I have lived to be quite old, and I don't recall how many times a prince of the realm has greeted me by digging his nails in my back, scratching and scraping, kneading and kneading me like I was dough, just squeezing and embracing me. Well, they're cousins, so I guess that makes it all right. That's what Elvis said. And that's what makes it all right, all right, all right. But yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody knows how affectionate Mike and Zara Tyndall can be. Now, I'm not so shady because Mike Tyndall has demonstrated his affection while he was on one of those reality shows. I decided not to share that one because that's being too shady. That's just too shady. So I'm not going to share that one. But if you know, you know. Mike was so affectionate when he ran up behind one of his fellow castmates and gave them a big squeeze and a big hug and a big bear hug embrace. Oh, it was so much gossip about it. But Zara the tongue ring Tyndall made sure that there was no chance that people thought that they were in trouble. And so when she finally met up with Mike, and listen, you guys, there's no reason to believe that there was anything going on. Mike Tyndall is just a bit of a court gesture. And he also loves his future king, which is why they embrace the way they do. William needs love in his life. He's an awful, dreadful person. And if it takes Mike Tyndall to bring out his tender side, well, I'm here for it. No shade or anything like that. Um, Maybe because he's had such a horrible father his whole life. Maybe that much needed masculine energy that William has been lacking for so long. Um, maybe he gets that from Mike Tyndall. Who knows? I'm not some psychologist or anything, but um, maybe if William is held and embraced more often, maybe he would be a nicer person. I mean, it's not like Kate isn't constantly reaching out to him. I've seen it so many times where Kate has made the gesture to embrace her husband, and of course he almost jumps out of his skin, um, with the thought of it. But but that doesn't mean that they don't have a close relationship. Like look at this one. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that Will and Kate are any less affectionate than anybody else. It's just I don't think that they're that affectionate with each other. I mean, um, I don't know who Kate turns to, but well, Mike Tyndall. Well, that is William turns to Mike Tyndall um, for a nice, embrace from time to time, and of course, both Willie and Kitty, they have their kids to hold, and they just don't like to touch each other. That's all. They don't seem very accustomed to that. It's always very awkward. But anyway, it's none of my business. And like I said, I'm not going to show that image of Mike Tyndall and his castmate in that very strange and awkward embrace. Um, if I recall, I think he just about got elbowed, but that was all part of the fun. See, being elbowed by your castmate who you surprised with a deep, warm embrace. Well, I mean that's part of the fun. Oh, that's part of the fun. So let me see. Where's another image of Will and Kate where they oh, I love this one. Look at how they look at each other. Look at how they look at each other. Oh, it didn't come up. Oh well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Uh-oh, what do we have here? Let me see. Baldy is a dweeb. That's my time, folks. Thank you, Mo Shannon. And let me see. Joy Amore says Willie is a nut bucket. Thank you very much, Joy Amore. And thank you both for the super chats. But yeah, um, I don't want people to think that I'm being critical about how the royal family relate to one another. Surely everyone knows that Will and Kate are about as tight as a gnat's ass. I couldn't think of any other words. Let me see here. Do I have any other demonstrations of their togetherness? Surely I do. Oh, yes, it was this warm exchange. How about this one? I forgot about that picture at the end. I totally forgot about that one. You guys, this is my therapy. Dragging those people, that is my therapy. You all know that, don't you? On some of my worst days, if I always think to myself, if I could just drag that Kensington crew, all will be well. And it works every time. All of a sudden, I find myself humming, and next thing you know, I done broke into song. Ooh, what about this warm embrace? Now, this embrace right here, I don't know if they're um, glad to see each other, or is she about to demonstrate some kind of judo move that she just learned? Look at how tender that exchange is. William's arms just as rigid as an emery board, and Kate with those muscular arms of hers looking like she's about to throw him into the lake. Now that is what I call a sweet, tender exchange. Nothing says love like that very strong embrace from Kate Middleton. Yeah. Uh, let's see. I want to try to find something just a little more tender and loving. Um, Surely I have something. I don't think any of these convey um, the type of love that they have for each other. So I want to make sure I get this right. Let me see. Uh, Cause this is love. Mhm. And this is love. Okay, okay. I feel the pressure. I gotta find something. Let me see here. There's so many to choose from, that's all. Um, you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for that one when they were in Scotland. That's the one I'm looking for when they were in Scotland. Um, Wait, does this one work? Oh, look at that. Doesn't William look like his heart is melting? Now tell me William doesn't look like his heart is melting. Either that or he just pooped his pants. Either his heart is melting or he done just pooped his pants. Now, if that isn't the look of love, I don't know what is. Yes, together forever. Oh, and to think they paid a camera crew to take them out that day. They actually paid a camera crew. Hmm. Okay, let me try to find one more. One more. One mo. Uh, I really want the one when they're in the state Bentley, and I kind of think I went past it already. But I love the one when they're in the state Bentley and William is like picking at the trim of the car. Was that before or after she was missing? Oh man, I'm never gonna find it. But okay, I won't keep looking for it. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. There it is. Look at William. He's so glad to be with her. He's trying to scrape something off the trim of the car. Kate looking ahead stoically. 'Cause this is love. Mm-hmm. And this is love. William is literally picking at the trim of the car, scraping a little matter of some sort off of the leather trim. That's how close they are. But you remember, Kate had a surprise when they arrived to meet the president of South Korea. Remember that? She had a little surprise under that coat. And I think she has been on punishment ever since. Where is that at? I believe that was that day she got in trouble. Okay, give me a second. Y'all already know which one it is, I'm sure. Speaking of surprises, wait until you see who was at Troop in the Color. Um, Nobody tell it. If you know it already, don't tell it. I want to be the one to surprise everyone when you see who was at Troop in the Color. Oh, there it is. There it is. Maybe William is looking upset because he knew this was coming when Kate disrespected the president of South Korea by emerging from the car like one of the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes, like she was on her way to a burlesque show. I mean, you cannot tell me that this was not deliberate. You cannot tell me that this was just by chance. This was quite deliberate and in very, very bad taste. Very bad taste. And if she is going to be an effective queen of the realm, she has to stop doing stuff like that. I don't think it's right. Especially your son is going to be a future king, and just shouldn't do that. Should not do that. I thought it was super tacky. Um, but as I said, I'm going to be very fair with Kitty. I thought that what she wore to Troop in the Colors was very appropriate. Um, that is much better. She shouldn't show so much leg. That is so much better. That is a good look for her. So, very respectful and in good taste, especially in front of your children. Just because her mama taught her how to show your legs all the time doesn't mean she need to teach that to her kids. Okay. So, I'm done with that, but I think it's very tacky. S- Um yeah, that's true. Okay. Look who was at Troop in the Colors. Someone who looks a lot like Gums. Gums, gums, gums. Gums, 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 gums. Doesn't that look like Gums? Now, I can't say with all certainty that that is Gums, but she sure looks like her, doesn't she? Yep, looks just like Gums. I don't know which squad he found this, but looks just like Gums. Ain't she a mess? Whoever that is a hot mess, a big sloppy mess. But again, this image from the public domain on the mall in um, London around Buckingham Palace with that incredibly expensive equipment. By the way, you guys, I would have loved to have seen that little elephant standing on that stool. Yep. I would have paid good money to see that elephant standing on that stool, just like in the circus. An elephant on a stool. I would have paid good money to see that. They do it at the circus. They can do it at Trooping the Color. Nothing like a big elephant. Nothing like a circus elephant standing on a stool, tipping and teetering their weight all over the place. It's like the portrait Norman Rockwell forgot to paint. An elephant on a stool. Yes, somebody please call P.T. Barnum and tell him to come back, to bring the circus back, because we just found another elephant to stand on top of the stool. See there? That's probably, I'm just saying, this is what it looked like. Little elephant standing on top of that stool, just like the circus. Surely there's a picture out there somewhere. I am going to comb the internet and see if I can find that picture of that little elephant standing on that stool. Big sloppy mess. I tell you, it looks like her. Look at that bad dye job. Now, there are not two bad dye jobs in the universe that look the same. That's got to be her. Oh, well, it takes all kind. Elephants, people, you name it. I found out that Kate was booed at the Trooping the Colors. Now, I did not want to believe it because she had the babies with her, and I hate the idea that there was some booing going on with those kids in the carriage, but there was. There was. There's actually a video, and I chose not to share it. And then I found this. Protesters boo Princess of Wales carriage during Trooping the Color. Protester boo Princess of Wales carriage during Trooping the Color parade. Yep, it did happen. So I hate that with the kids present, but well, their mom is so popular, you know. Kate's summer strength. Kate's summer of strength. There are some major shifts coming as Princess Kate privately rebuilds after a year of cancer treatment or whatever it was. She's stepping out with fresh purpose and the poise of a queen in waiting. The poise of a queen in waiting. You mean like this? Is that the poise they're talking about? A queen in waiting? What queen is that? The Queen of Sheba? The Queen of the Damned? What queen is that? What poised and elegant queen are we referring to? Certainly not Kate Middleton. Anyway, you guys, I have a theory about this. My theory is the only reason why Kate has energy is because Wimbledon is coming up. And it would be very difficult to make a case about going to Wimbledon because even in her worst times, she always seems to have boundless energy when it's time to go to Wimbledon. Not for the men's, or should I say, not for the women players, only for the men. Kate does not show up for women athletes. William does not show up for the women athletes. They both got that really bad. When it's time for the men to play, she's all over them like a cheap suit. But for the women, she can't be bothered. And especially if she thinks there's somebody to flirt with, which is why this one wife of a tennis player has recoiled in disgust when Kate went by. She didn't even speak to her. And why? Because some people say that Kate was flirting with her husband. And of course, the newspapers actually kind of said the same thing, but later on, the headline for the article changed. Yes, the article changed. They changed the headline. I got the receipts. I'm not going to pull them out because I don't want to have to dig for them. But I have the receipts that shows the original headline and then the one that went up in haste after a call from Kensington Palace. And let me tell you, the wife was very, very visibly angry, despondent. So, and listen, her sister's just about as bad as she is. After all, they don't call them the Wisteria sisters for nothing. But yeah, all of this is alleged, of course. I cannot prove that Kate was flirting with her husband, but if you've seen the photos, you know the story is true in some people's eyes. Toot toot. Hey, beep beep. Toot toot. Hey, beep beep. Toot toot. Hey, beep beep. Well, I see Mo Shannon has woke up today and chose war. I love it. Somebody has woken up today and chose war. SK reviewed this for us. I didn't get a chance to see it, but SK, I think, may have actually watched it. Harry and Meghan, where did the money go? They're two of the most famous people in the world, but how do they make their money remains a mystery. Much like the rest of the royal family, I might add, not as mysterious as that. How have they maintained their lavish lifestyle after leaving the royal family purse strings? Well, SK said, so basically, after an hour and 27 minutes of drivel and them regurgitating what they print daily and their TV talk shows, they've made it clear Meghan was self-made before joining Harry, who came in the marriage with $5 million. Meghan is a hard worker. Meghan's lifestyle show is who she was before, but now on a bigger scale. That the Netflix deal is intact. That they will run out of ideas before they run out of money. And basically, they said Harry and Meghan will be okay. So that's what this show is about. The Channel 5, UK Channel 5 show was about how the Sussexes got their own money, they work hard, and they're okay. Oh, they work how much Meghan and Harry's gardening cost them a year and their annual water bill. Plus, they kept referring to them as the former golden royal couple. Those people are not okay. The end. But wait, there's more. There's more. Nothing gives the British media and the royal family a huge migraine like how Harry and Meghan are surviving financially without the royal purse. As the saying goes, whoever controls the money controls the person. There's even they've even made a documentary, one of their Harry and Meghan weekly documentaries, to dig deep how Meghan and Harry maintained the lavish lifestyle. But it's the title of the documentary that made me laugh. Harry and Meghan, where did the money go? As if they're broke. But in the detail, they are wondering how do they make their money and maintain that lavish lifestyle without the royal family purse. British media and royal family daily prayer is two things: Harry and Meghan go broke or to divorce. But God is God. Not in this lifetime will either of their prayers come true. So thank you, SK, for that review. That was all I needed to know. I'm so glad I didn't have to try to watch it. Anyway, I had no way to watch it, but that works for me. I'll take your word for it. Pretty much that sounds as accurate as could possibly be. So if you guys were thinking about watching it, save yourself the trouble. We already know how the story ends. Okay, Loose Women canceled. Loose Women canceled in yet another TV schedule shakeup set to infuriate fans. Now, when I first saw that, I thought, oh my goodness, this ought to be bigger news. You know what, guys? You really have to dig into these articles. And I'm so glad I did, because it says here the series is scraping its live audience when the program airs with a reduced schedule of just 30 episodes next year. Bosses have got rid of the studio audience to save costs, with insiders revealing that it's an expensive feature due to being managed by an external company who also provides security and a warm up person. But for the presenters, it's going to be a disaster. A TV source told Mail Online the panelists are really upset over the decision to axe the live studio audience from the show. Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't think anybody should ever see Loose Women in person, because there's the television 720 Loose Women, and then there is the 4K Loose Women. So it'd be a shame to go down there to the studio thinking that this is Loose Women, only to get there and, start, I don't know, feeling heart palpitations, because this is actually Loose Women. HD, 4K, um, what is that? Quattros, plasma. That's the real Loose Women. Not this here. That's a highly stylized version of Loose Women, an idealized version of Loose Women. This is the Loose Women that you see if you using some old technology. But if you have a 4K television, or if you go down to the studio, you're going to see everything, including a little extra hair under the nose. Yeah. So I'd stay away from the live audience. I mean, so far they've been lucky, but what if somebody snaps a picture in the studio? Then what? But yeah, so like I said, you really have to dig into the article to figure out what's going on because, it's a tabloid and they want people to think the worst because that's how they make their money. See there? At the end of Monday's episode, host Ruth Langsford said, that's it for us today, I'm afraid. And actually, it gets worse. We're not on all week. So she signs off and says, that's it for us today. I'm afraid it gets worse. We're not on all week. She continued, ITV coverage of Ascot will be on. They replaced them with a horse race. Wait a minute. They replaced them with a horse race. Do you think anybody's going to notice? Not me. Where did I leave off? Oh, she continued. Okay. Enjoy the sunshine if you have it. Bye. This is not the first time that Loose Women have been canceled in recent weeks. The episode due to air on June 6 didn't air due to ITV airing of First Derby meeting from Epsom races. After, what was it, Kay Adams co-star Frankie Bridge, Nadia Swaha, and Kelly Brook showed viewers how to sleep at night, how they sleep at night, Kay said, well, thank God I'm going. That's it for today and this week, sadly. We're off tomorrow for the racing. So I think they're coming on once a week, but whatever. I think they're only going to have a handful of episodes in comparison. If I'm correct, I think next year or for the next 12 months or whatever, they're only going to have like 60 episodes. So Loose Women essentially is dying a slow death. It is like it's slowly fading away. That's what's happening. It is evaporating before our eyes. It has lost its purpose. No live studio audience. Um Fewer shows. They're done. They're done because I cannot see them missing all of the interesting topics that they talk about from day to day, like, such and such and Meghan, this and that and Meghan, um, the king's birthday and Meghan, those subjects. Well, if it wasn't for Meghan, this probably would have happened sooner. And they're not the only show. ITV is obviously in financial trouble. And getting rid of Loose Women, which I think it's a great show. It is a great show. I don't like the way they treat Meghan, but the whole concept of the show is great, but not good enough because, well, they're losing their show. It could be so much better. It could be so much better, but it doesn't have enough diversity most days. It really doesn't. Most days, there's just not enough diversity. And some of the topics are so out of touch with the common everyday working person. It's very out of touch. You have these very right-wing women, most of which I believe were on the wrong side of Brexit, and where Harry and Meghan is concerned, on the wrong side of history. Could you imagine how that show would take off if they were more pro Sussex? And of course, other subjects. But it's too many people for such a narrow scope. I don't think they were doing enough to really help women. So they deserve to fade away. Okay, so at this point, you guys, guess what? I am done. I am going to take a look at some of your comments and then we will call it a day. But yeah, I'm done. Done. So let me take this all the way back up to the top. And I'll just leave it there. And I'm going to come over here and take a look. So again, I am done. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, somebody chose war today. Uh, uh, oh, what is this, pray tell? Uh, oh, okay. That's the link for. Oh wait, no, it's not. Is it? Did I do that right? Oh yeah, that's the link for Meghan, right? Yeah. If you guys, let me put that link at the top. Let me put that up at the top. Okay. Replace pin message. There we go. Okay, you guys, there is the link at the top of the chat so you can watch the interview that Meghan had with Emma. Again, it was a great interview. Their energy, they were a perfect match, especially for the type of conversation. Perfect. Um, and I'm just going to say this um, for people who did not really care for the last season or the most recent podcast of Megan's Confessions of a Female Founder. I think that probably some of y'all just wanted it to be a big hit so that, Megan could get the type of recognition she deserves. But I don't think Megan was really interested in the show being flashy in any way. I think Megan really wanted to speak to female entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs. That was the core audience of the show. It wasn't meant to have any big names like, Mariah Carey or anything like that. It was supposed to be exactly what it was. Not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but I found it very interesting and informative. And I like the fact that Megan is actually speaking to other women, exclusively to other women in a very similar situation that she's in right now. And that is, a founder of a business. So maybe the next podcast that comes around, maybe it'll be a little different, although I doubt it. Again, I think it's more about the quality and not whether or not she knocks Joe Rogan off of the top position. So I think that is going to be Megan's theme for the near future. So I guess I'm just trying to say, get used to it because she is helping women help themselves, giving women ideas, helping people to recognize patterns for success and such. So I think it's a good thing. And again, I understand why some people didn't really care for it as much, but I felt from the very beginning that the topic was going to resonate with a certain demographic, and that was a good thing. Let me see. It inspired me to pursue a business venture that I was just doing as a favor for people. It was very helpful to me. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. And I hope you every success. Let me see. Baron Megan could have made a lady out of Kate, but they ran her away. Yeah, Kate really needs a friend. William needs real friends. I don't doubt William has friends, but I don't think he has anybody that tells him the truth. Harry would have been very close to William. Harry would have deliberately continued to put William first, but William did not deserve um, Harry in his life, not from day to day. No, he didn't deserve Harry. That family, they just don't deserve Harry and Meghan. They're too vain and too arrogant to ever appreciate the Sussexes. Let me see here. Okay. Yes, yes. And she still has creative control of her business. And that's so important. You know, as I told you guys, I watch a lot of interviews, famous people. Karl Lagerfeld, Karl Lagerfeld, one of the meanest people that ever lived. However, a genius. Karl Lagerfeld was given complete creative control at Chanel. He never, ever attended a business meeting. His contract pretty much said, leave me alone, let me create. And they trusted him with the creativity of the family business. And it worked out. It worked out. Um, Karl Lagerfeld took a dying product line, a dying fashion house, and put it on the map. So having that type of creative control is a good thing. It is a very good thing. Let me see here. Anything else? Oh, you mean for the well, you know what, guys? Um Go over there and leave some positive comments. Yeah, leave some positive comments. Don't let those negative comments be the end of the story. You all know what to do. Try to flood it with some positive comments. And I'm not saying to read all of the comments over there. I'm not saying to get into a back and forth because remember, you may be arguing with the AI. You may very well be arguing with the AI. So it's not worth getting your blood pressure elevated. But you could always go and leave some very positive comments. Yeah, you could always leave some positive comments. Oh my goodness. I see that remember that lady that doesn't wash her legs? I see she left a negative comment I see she left a negative comment. You know, the one who was supposed to be an antique dealer. And one day she decided to talk about Meghan and ain't stopped talking about her since. Yep, she went over there and left a comment. Ugh, what a pig. I cannot stand her. And she doesn't wash her feet or her legs. She up there talking about it looks like a spider has bitten her or something like that, she said. Let me see. Huh. Well, oh, I see one of the squatties was like, it's an interview. Did you expect her to talk about you? Did you not understand the premise of what the interview is? Have you not seen any of the other interviews that Emma has done? You haters say the dumbest things and think that I'm sorry, that somehow the problem is her. She's educated enough to know what an interview is, as is Emma, who's asking her the questions. Yeah, the one with the unwashed legs, she was saying she talked about herself and and she's like, yeah, did you think she was going to talk about you? Let me see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Um, the thing is, there are certain words, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of content creators don't know about it, but there are certain words that you can just eliminate, and they will not show up in the chat. Now, I won't tell you what words I have blocked, but there are certain words that do not show up in the chat, and I'm well, not the chat, but the comments. The comments. So when you go to the comment section, certain words that I find offensive and in no way reflect Harry and Meghan's character or lifestyle, I have blocked those words. And there's certain topics I blocked that too. So there's a lot of control that you have over the comment section, but I don't think a lot of content creators know how to use that. And when I see that they are using some language I don't like, I say, oh, let me block that word too. So it is possible to limit that. That's why you don't see as much of that in Royal Sussex compared to other places, because um, the moderators are very active. And of course, blocking those words and eventually blocking those people, it saves a lot of headaches. And then you never have to deal with that person again. Unless they go through the trouble of setting up a new account, they're gone. And sometimes they don't even know that they're blocked. I mean, you can still write the message. They don't even know they're gone. So it's a tool, but this is our safe space, and we just don't need that kind of negativity because it breeds more of it. You know, we want to celebrate the moments, not get into combat, some mental gymnastics with um, uh, AI or something like that. Oh, someone else told the one with the nasty unwashed legs, they say, why even come to watch? That's not normal. Someone else said, it's about her, and that's why you're here. You are so confused, but this is not for you. Please go away. I'm enjoying this, so don't mess it up for others. Hello. Okay, you guys, it has been 2 hours, so I think we should call it. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Thank you, moderators, as always, for keeping this a safe space. What's up? Oliver says it's so hard not to rebut that is, but I've learned from you. Oh my God, these people are exhausting. Yes, they are. But we have to protect our mental health. And part of that is ignoring those people. Um, it's not going to change anything to reply to those comments, but it does help to get a little bit off your chest. I will admit that. But you could always just say something positive and keep it moving. Ciao to you too. Thank you very much. All right, I'm out. Love you.